Assalamu alaikum students. Students, today we are going to learn how to balance equations. Most of the students who start chemistry, they feel difficulty in balancing of equation. So balancing can become very easier if we start a simple rule. And this rule is Rashid's rule for balancing of equation. For balancing. According to this rule, it's a very simple rule. Balance atoms, balance elements other than oxygen and hydrogen first. Balance oxygen in the end means first we have to balance elements which are other than oxygen and hydrogen. Then we should balance hydrogen, and at the end we should balance oxygen. And in more than 90% equations, you will find oxygen already balanced if you follow this rule. So students, let's start balancing this equation. So we have nitrogen, hydrogen, and they are converted to ammonia. Students, you are saying that according to this rule, we should balance nitrogen first. Number of nitrogen atoms at the reactant side are 2, but at the product side is 1. While balancing of equation, we can't balance a compound like this. If we are balancing ammonia, we can't write a number here because this will change the formula of the compound. So it will be a wrong way. It means you can't balance nitrogen by writing 2 here. So the exact way of balancing of an element is we should write any number at the left side of the compound. So by writing 2, nitrogen atom have become balanced, but hydrogen atom are not balanced. There are 3 to the 6. 6 hydrogen at the product side, but there are only 2 hydrogen at the reactant side. If I write 2 before hydrogen, number of hydrogen will become 2 to the 4, which is not balanced. So we should write 3 here, 3 to the 6. So nitrogen and hydrogen both are balanced in this equation. I want to make another thing clear to you that when we write ammonia, one molecule of ammonia contains 3 hydrogen atoms, and we write 2 ammonia. This 2 ammonia means NH3 plus NH3. So there are total 6 hydrogen. Now come to the second equation. We should balance sulfur first, and sulfur is already balanced, and the turn of oxygen has come. Oxygen atoms are 2 in SO2 and 2 here. Total oxygen atoms are 4 at the reactant side, but at the product side, there are 3 oxygen atoms. In order to increase oxygen at the product side, we can write a number because 1 is understood. Number 1 is already written here, and we can increase this 1 to 2. As we try to balance oxygen, while balancing of oxygen, sulfur, which was already balanced, it has become unbalanced. So we should balance sulfur first and we should ignore oxygen. So by writing 2 before SO2, number of sulfur atoms have become balanced, and now we shall count oxygen again. 2 to the 4. 4 oxygen here and 2 oxygen here. Total number of oxygen 6 at the reactant side and 6 at the product side. So oxygen is also balanced. Come to third equation. Aluminium is 1 at the reactant side, aluminium is 1 at the product side, chlorine is 1 at the reactant side, number of chlorine atoms are 3 at the product side. So we should write a number 3 here in order to make chlorine equal at both sides. Balancing of chlorine has increased the number of hydrogen atom at the reactant side. Number of hydrogen atom are 3 at the reactant side but 2 at the product side. So if we multiply this one H2 with 1.5, this will also balance equation. Number of hydrogen atoms have become 3, but if someone does not like this fraction, then whole number can also be used for the balancing of equation. For this, we will have to multiply the whole equation by 2. So this will become aluminium 2, HCl will become 6, aluminium chloride 2, and 1.5 after being multiplied by 2 will also become 3. Now you can check 2 aluminium at the reactant side, 2 aluminium at the product side, chlorine 3 2s are 6. There are 6 chlorine because in 1 aluminium chloride there are 3 chlorine, but in 2 aluminium chloride number of chlorine atoms will become 6, and chlorine atoms are also 6 at the reactant side. There are 6 hydrogen atom at the product side and 6 hydrogen atom at the reactant side. So this equation is also balanced. Come to this equation, Fe2O3, iron 2, iron 1, by writing 2 iron has become balanced. Turn of carbon has come. According to rule, carbon is already balanced. There is no hydrogen, so we should balance oxygen now. Oxygen 3 and 1 4. At the product side 2, so we should write 2 before CO2. This has balanced oxygen but has unbalanced carbon. So we should ignore oxygen and we should focus only on carbon. Carbon are 2 at the product side, 1 at the reactant side. We have written 2 in order to balance the carbon. Carbon has become balanced, but oxygen atoms have become unbalanced. Oxygen 3 and 2, 5 at the reactant side, but 4 at the product side. So for increasing oxygen, we should cancel this 2 and we should write 3 here. Oxygen atom have become 6, but while balancing oxygen, carbon atoms have become unbalanced again. Let's balance carbon again. Carbon 3, carbon 3. And as I had already told you that if we balance other elements, oxygen will also become automatically balanced. So oxygen atoms are 3 here and 3 here. Total 6, and here 3 2s are 6. So this equation is also balanced. Come to this equation, aluminium 1, aluminium 2, so we should write 2 before aluminium, iron 2, iron 1, we should write 2 before iron, and oxygen atoms are 3, oxygen atoms are 3. This equation was very simple. It has become balanced now. Let's see some more equations. Let's balance some difficult equation now. Aluminium reacts with uh, HNO3 to produce AlNO3 whole thrice plus hydrogen gas. So according to the rules, we should balance other elements first. Aluminium 1 already balanced, nitrogen 1, and inside the bracket there is 1 nitrogen, but outside the bracket there is a number 3. So 3 is multiplying oxygen and nitrogen both. So there are 3 nitrogen at the product side, 1 nitrogen at the reactant side. Let's write 3 here. Nitrogen atom have become balanced, and now the turn of hydrogen has come. Hydrogen are 3 at the reactant side, but 2 at the product side. So once again, we have two options. Either we multiply hydrogen with 1.5 or we multiply a whole equation by 2. This will make this equation 2Al plus 6HNO3. That gives 2AlNO3 whole thrice plus 3H2. So this equation is also balanced now. Let's see one more equation. NaOH reacts with ammonium sulfate. On heating, it gives Na2SO4 plus water plus ammonia gas. So according to the rule, we should balance elements other than oxygen and hydrogen first. Sodium 2 at the product side, sodium 1. This sodium has become balanced. Turn of sulfur has come. Sulfur is 1 at the reactant side. Sulfur is 1 at the product side. Some students consider that this 4 is for sulfur. This 4 is only for oxygen. This 4 is for oxygen, and sulfur is 1. And sulfur is 1 at the product side. Now the turn of nitrogen has come. Nitrogen are 2 at the product side, because inside the bracket 1 nitrogen and outside the bracket 2 is written, and 2 is multiplying nitrogen. 2 nitrogen at the reactant side, but 1 nitrogen at the product side. So we shall write 2 here. Nitrogen atoms are balanced. So all the elements other than oxygen and hydrogen are balanced now. Come to the hydrogen now. Hydrogen atoms, 4 inside the bracket, and 4 is being multiplied by 2. So number of hydrogen atoms here are 8. 2 hydrogen atoms are here. 1 hydrogen is being multiplied by 2. So there were therefore 2 hydrogen atoms in NaOH. 2 hydrogen, total number of hydrogen atoms at the reactant side are 10. At the product side, this 3 is being multiplied by 2. So there are 6 hydrogen at the in ammonia and 2 hydrogen in water. So total hydrogen atom are 8 at the product side. As we have already balanced nitrogen, so we can't increase any number before ammonia. This 2 should not be changed, and in order to increase hydrogen, we should write a number before water. Now this 2 twos are 4, 4 and 6. Now total number of hydrogen atoms at the product side are also 10. Hydrogen is balanced. Now let's check oxygen. Oxygen 4 and this 2. This O is being multiplied by 2. So there are 6 oxygen at the reactant side. At the product side 2, and this oxygen is also being multiplied by 2. So 4 and 2, 6. So total number of oxygen atoms are 6 at the product side. So student, this was all about the balancing of equation. I hope that you will have understood this topic very well. Allah Hafiz.